One of the options that you have with duplex development is the ability to sell both halves on completion. In fact, that's what I did to pay down the debt on my own personal mortgage. It's a weird analogy where you go further into investment debt to then help you get out of your personal debt. And let me stress, this is not advice, this is just what I've done personally. And that is to buy and develop and sell on completion. Pay down the debt on your own home and then redeploy the capital to keep growing your portfolio. So again, not advice, just what I've done personally. Now, I purchased this duplex for $896,800. It's an 8-bed, 4-bath, 2-car duplex design, which of course can be subdivided under a strata title. That means on completion, you can sell one, you can keep one, you can sell both, or in fact, you can keep both. Now, what I personally decided to do was actually sell both. And here is the duplexes on completion. I actually sold each half for $725,000. Now, if you use a gross realization, that's $1,450,000 as a sale price. Now, take away the initial acquisition price, the gross uplift on this project was $553,200. But let's dive down into the actual gross profit that it made me. In order to work out your gross profit, you need to factor in what were your on costs and what were your off costs, and then add that to the purchase price. So on costs are things like what's the stamp duty you paid? What were the legal fees, the bank fees? What was the interest that you paid whilst the project was under construction? Your off costs are things like what did it cost you in agents selling commission? What was the advertising fees? What were the legal fees? Adding back the depreciation that you may have claimed. So in my example, I actually had a cost base that was $916,295.83. So what we need to do is we need to take this away from the capital proceeds. And as you can see, the capital proceeds were $1,450,000. So I am left with a gross capital gain of $533,704.17. I actually held this property for 12 months. So the 50% capital gains tax exemption actually applied. So half of the gross profit of $533,704.17 is actually $266,852.09. So that's what I got to keep completely tax-free. The other half, it then gets added to the assessable income of whoever owns the property. Now, for me personally, and again, this isn't advice, this is what I did personally, I owned this property in a trust. And the year that I sold the property, my wife was actually off work with our first son. So she didn't actually have an income for that year. So all of the income essentially was distributed to her. Because she wasn't earning less income, she paid less tax, we got to keep more of the money. It gets pretty complex, but as you can see, using this strategy, you can pay off huge chunks of capital off your mortgage, pay down the debt, free up your borrowing capacity, and redeploy the capital to keep moving forward.